RPM Tesla Aftermarket Accessories. Today we're going to show you how to install your road noise, wind noise, door trunk noise reduction kit. This is the Sponge Rubber EPDM noise reduction kit, now including 10 pieces, including all the doors, all the pillars, but the trunk and the frunk are included as well. So this is self-installing. You might have gotten a kit that included another piece from a prototype, which is for the interior dash. We're not going to use that, so just discard that. And let's get into it and show you what we got. So what you're going to notice is the pillars. So the A pillar, B pillar, front door, back door. Okay. Each of these 4 bags have 2 pieces inside. So this is your 8-piece kit, 9, 10. And we're going to do the whole front trunk and the whole rear trunk. And with this installation, we're also including a bottle of 3M 94 primer. This is an adhesive promoter. We're going to show you how to clean up every area, how to install it, and then how to apply this adhesive promoter. It's basically like a self-drying glue for vinyl and rubber products. And what we're going to do is put this everywhere on the inside of the car. So this will be on the inside of the doors, on the inside of the trunk. Everywhere where the adhesive is going to mount, we're going to show you where to put this. This will really make it grab and hold. So again, this is 3M adhesive promoter UL94. So let's get started. And one more quick thing. Your trunk and your frunk may be in multiple pieces. You may get one long piece that goes around the entire perimeter, or you might get 2 pieces. We'll show you that. And the other thing about the B pillar, the B pillar is majorly improved. You may get this in one piece, you may have to snip it. But if you get it like this with 2 ends and 2 ends, it's perfect. All right, let's get started. We want to explain to everybody about the pillars and names on the bags. Of course, the A pillar is the windshield pillar. This is the letter A, so this is the A pillar. This is the B pillar, and the rest are labeled for front and rear doors. The A pillar doesn't get mounted on the pillar, it gets mounted on the door. Okay, so on this side you can see that the A pillar bag is going to get it mounted on the inside of the door frame, and same thing with the B pillar. The B pillar is going to be installed in the B pillar area, but it's actually going right on the edge of the door. So why don't we start there, since that's the easiest one to install. It'll help you get acquainted with the material, and you'll see how to prep it, clean it, and how it fits on. So again, the door seals are very, very, very easy. So we'll start with the B pillars first. On this one, you'll notice that there is, let's come in really close, that we have a molded edge on the bottom. So we have an open P-bulb on the top and a closed edge on the bottom. So all you have to determine is which is right and which is left. So you'll notice that this tapers down to a point which matches up with the end of this right here. So this is the passenger side. So all we're going to do, and we're going to have our professional installers show you, but all we're going to do is we're going to put this, clean it all up. We're going to put it right around the lip. We're going to use the adhesive promoter and run it all the way up here. Then at the very top, we're going to cut it. Then we're going to use this rubber piece. We're going to cut it again, and we're going to stick our piece right under the rubber cap that's built into the door. So let's get started with the B pillar. Okay, so we're prepping the B pillar now. And again, alcohol. This is the only way to get dirt and grime and grease off that can interfere with the adhesive. Just clean the B pillar off, and we're going to be putting it right on the edge. So you'll notice that in a second. And now this is the adhesive promoter. So just unscrew it. And every time you put it on, you want to make sure you're putting it where the adhesive is going to go. So in this case, we know it's the leading edge. So you'll notice here we're just running it down the side on the top. And again, it's not a super glue. It's not going to damage your paint. They actually use this when they wrap cars, when they put on a lot of things. But we know that after selling this for a few months, that opening and closing the doors can really put its toll on it. So we think adhesive promoter, especially a product made by 3M, is the way to go. So once that's on, you're supposed to wait about 10 to 15 seconds, but it'll dry instantly. You don't want to put it on wet. You want to put it on dry. Then we're going to take the B-pillar and start right at the bottom. And again, remember the point and how we have identified that this point is going to go on the end. And we recommend you peel back the tape, just a little bit of the red tape backing, and then we'll start sticking it on. And you don't want to peel off the glue or the adhesive. So, okay, now we're going to start right at the bottom and locate the bottom position. And you'll see how the red tape is pulled away slowly, and then we jam it on there so that the adhesive side is right on. And then I'm going to get an angle over here to show what it looks like if you're putting it on. So see the red tape and see how we're going right over the lip all the way up. Perfect. So one person can kind of be releasing it while one's pushing it on all the way up. And it has to make good contact because this seal is going to sit nice and flush when you close your door and really keep sound out. And when you get to the top, you'll notice that we are going to make this flush and hide it really well with the built-in cap on the rear door seal. So when you get to the top, we recommend you take a pair of scissors and just chop off. Anywhere right above here is good. And just cut it off about ½ inch above. Great. Then you line it up with the scissors and just chop it straight across. Just like that. And don't worry if you pull a little bit of the adhesive off. So, and that's the B-pillar. Now, of course, if you have a white spot, you want to hold that for a second? If you have any paint showing in the seal, just don't be afraid to lift it up, pull the seal off, and you just want to end up stretching it maybe a ¼ inch. Put it back down like this, and you can see it's getting longer, and then press it right in. So again, I'm over the edge with the seal where it's making all the contact and running right up to the top. And again, this is the most visible one, so we just want to make sure everyone's happy. Now we're going to show what happens when we close the door, because again, remember, there's no seal on here. If you look back at the door, this door has a rubber seal on here which seals this off, but there's nothing to seal this off. So this will close off. We're going to put another seal on here, but this is going to close off water and dirt from getting inside the doors as well. But it closes really nice. It's not hard to close. That's always our test. We wouldn't want to impede on a door closing. So that's the first one. That's the B pillar. All right, let's move on to the A pillar. Okay, again, these are identical. And to figure out right from left, we're simply going to be flipping them up or down. So again, the rubber seal, the adhesive tape, is going to go on the inside of the door. So you're going to drop it down like this after we clean it and prep it. And this is going to fit right like this, right like that. So this way, when the door is closed, you can see from this angle, this seal is going to be on this side, and it's not going to obstruct the view here. You'll see a black view inside of here, but this will keep a lot of noise from coming in the driver's side and the passenger side front doors. Okay, so let's start. All right, we want to get a strong bond, so you got to clean this edge good. So now that we've determined the adherence points, we're going to clean all the way down the inside edge of the door. So this edge all the way to the bottom. That's all you need to clean up. And then, of course, we're going to use the adhesive promoter. So we'll keep on going. And we like to do these videos live all the way through without editing. We might edit between scenes, but this is the first time we've used this, and we like to do it just like our customers are doing it out of the box. There's a promoter, and this will be probably a little tricky to get on because we're going to get it on this edge and just go all the way down. And then you do have some hinges in the way, so, and some wire harnesses. But again, this is just to ensure a strong bond. If you don't use it, it's not going to make a difference, but it's really going to help hold. This is the A-pillar is probably the hardest one to put on, and also it does take the longest, and it's a little tough on the fingers. But all right, so we let that dry about 10 seconds, and then we move back up to the top where it's already air dried out, and then we'll start putting it on. So you want to pick away the red tape with something sharp. And I'll try to block all the sunlight here. So again, outside of the door, front fender, A-pillar, all the way around the top. Let it hang down low. Inside the door or behind the hinge is a good idea, because that's where this is going to go. So you can see how we're feeding it around like the main hinge that holds it onto the chassis. And then now press it down and just make sure that it's not coming outside. You want the flat edge on the inside of the door. And you'll know when you look at this side if perhaps you're hanging over too far. But this looks good. It's making good contact. And as soon as it hits the adhesive promoter, it's going to grab. It's like a super glue, but it's not. This is really going to help, because this one is really key. We've done a lot of sound tests, and we're going to do some more. But this really keeps out water. It keeps out air noise. It keeps out a lot of things that make your car dirty, as well as increase the volume in the cabin, as they like to call it. Okay, so now Jared's going to finish that, and then we're going to trim the bottom. Same thing. We always make them a little longer, so trimming is always important. If we made them a little too short, it might not cover the whole length. So again, see, we're going behind the lower hinge, so there's two hinges, upper and lower. And in order to get all the way down the inside of the door, run it all the way down, take your time, and you can always pull it up if you have to adjust it. You can see how it's sitting right on that edge. And the one thing we've learned about too is it's good to have maybe a friend or someone on the outside checking it, because you kind of got to reach around with your fingers and push from one side and then push from the other side just to make sure you're right on there. But looks like we got it on good. So I think before we cut it, we'll do a little sample door test just to show everybody really quick what we've done. So we put it on all the way down. See the black seal inside. Try to shadow it all the way down and hanging out the bottom. And when we close it, you'll notice that the seal is blocking airflow from going in here. That's all it's doing. So it's pretty simple. All right, let's trim the bottom off. And of course, we want to trim it from inside. So feel free to stretch it a little bit and chop it off. And then it will fit right inside. And if it's hanging down low, you can always lift it up again and reposition it. But that looks good. So just better off to trim too little than too much. And then push it on real good. And then that's the A-pillar. So again, this used to be the hardest one for us in the previous version of our kit. But you can see the rubber seal running all the way down, starting right up here. It really stops a lot of wind. And when we close it, Can't see anything. You might have seen white paint before. Now you see a rubber seal, but it's inside the car. Notice down here, you can see that it's nice and flush. All right, let's move on now next to the door seals. Again, this is just like the back door. Everything is on the inside. So you're just going to wipe everything down, all the contact points. Then get your UL 94 and run a bead down the same width as this in the same area. So you're just running it straight down the side. And we give you plenty in this jar. You could probably do 2 or 3 cars. So use it as generously as you want. And don't forget that this again will not harm your paint. But keep it on the inside of the car. You don't want to get it on the outside. You might have to polish it off if you got it all over the place. All the way down the edge. And again, see the mating parts here, or the parts that are going to make contact. So this is going to hang down below the door. So this is great. This is going to hang down below. So every time you close your door's going to go like this. So it's going to make it more airtight. Really cool. Doubling up the seals. All right. Now remember, start at the point and peel back both strands with something sharp. And then we're going to position it right on there in a V shape. So peel off about 1 or 2 inches and put this first piece down. You don't want it hanging down below the door at all, and you don't want it showing on the outside door edge. So you should show white paint on the edge, and then we're going to work our way up the door. So stay as close to the edge as you can. There's almost a molding in the stamping that's perfect to run it all the way up, and just don't go over the edge showing any paint. And when we get to the top, we're going to use our scissors and we're just going to trim it right off. And you'll see as you do more of these pieces, you'll get faster and faster. And again, you're just sticking it down, pressing with the thumb. And then, do we have our scissors handy? Good. Okay. So when you get all the way up there, just trim it right across. Pull it back a tiny bit and snip it. Press it down. And that's a perfect install. White paint visible all the way down, nothing seen from outside the car. And this seal here is great because it seals the bottom of the door against the bottom of the frame. And the vertical piece seals against the B-pillar piece. So this is really going to make a difference, especially right here, because there's nothing stopping any air or wind or water from getting in there. And this is going to create a nice seal all the way down and all the way across the bottom, reducing road noise and wind noise. So we go all the way to the end, and once you're stuck on, again, you'll notice in this view that we're going to chop off the seal on the end. But take a look real quick how this works. See, this compresses. So this seal isn't just like the cheap ones sold on Amazon. It actually compresses and seals the bottom, and it's not going to let air in. So this is a great design. Again, check it from the outside. Make sure it's not hanging down. Take your fingers and run it across here. And it looks like it's maybe low there on the right side. Right about 6 inches in. There. Is that a little? See how you make a quick adjustment? Just pull it up, stick it down, make sure it's straight. And then Come around the front of the car or the side of the car and make sure you don't see anything hanging down. And let's show you how great this closes now. And this will make the whole side completed. So just grab your door and close it. Sounds better. A lot of customers have told us the same thing, that it closes better. It has more of a solid sound. Again, the window's down. Let's roll the window up. Closes really nice. All sealed up, double sealed. So let's move on to the front trunk. But again, take a look at this and see how this functions. Sealing air and wind against this. Okay, so the passenger side obviously is the side where the seal is going to fit on this edge. So the point goes towards the front of the car. Easy to remember. Left side and driver's side. This point is going to go to the end when it seals against here and against here, creating a double seal. Tesla's door seal seals wind and dirt here. Ours is here. We're just doubling it up. So you don't start at the top, because the top is the opened end, the end we're going to cut. The bottom end, we're going to start down here. So you can see the solid piece, place it right on the end, work your way all the way across, and stick the red side down, just like this. So it's right up against the paint, and you should leave an edge showing so you can always see the white paint. So you can see how we're going to put it right here in place. And it fits right in here, creating a double seal. So again, this is the Tesla OEM seal. This is the RPM seal. And you just want to line it up and make sure all the way down you have a white edge showing so you don't notice it from the outside. It's going to go all the way up to the top of the door, and then we're going to cut it here. This is probably the biggest or the best performing seal for the backseat passengers. That, along with our trunk noise reduction kit, which really keeps it quiet in the back. And just make sure you can't see. All right, okay. Now we're going to just position it so it's not showing from the outside. So you want to look on it like this, and if you have to peel it off, you can push it. You can always remove it. 72 hours is a full curing time, according to 3M. And now the top, you can see, we're just going to run the scissors straight across and chop it right below the molding is fine. And sharp scissors help. All right, so that's it. And again, in the shade, you can see, now looking straight down, just make sure that you're pushed back away. And let's show you how it closes, just like that. So we're going to close it just like that. Now, if you look behind the light, you'll see the seal. But looking on top of the car, straight on, get out of the sun, can't see anything. All right, so that's the back door. So now, okay, now we're getting the front trunk prepped. So we're wiping down the edge. Remember, it's the outside perimeter edge that has to be the cleanest. This vehicle actually has our front trunk sound dampening kit in it. Check it out. This is an older car, so this one is one of the ones that you're not able to utilize the 2 holes. So we put extra tape inside. So anyway, this fits great. It's all cleaned up. And let's get the bag opened up, show you what's inside. We'll move our tools over here, and we're going to start prepping with the adhesive promoter. Great. So in this bag, are one long piece. The trunk, I think, is in 2 pieces. But this seal, we're going to show you, is designed to fit completely around from beginning to end. So we're just going to start on one end, like right down here, It's a flat circular seal. There's no right, left, or up or down. We're simply going to peel off the tape, put it down right here, and you'll see that this is going to seal against this edge all the way down and around. So let's get started with this side. Perfect. This has the Hansho power lift in it as well. So start right on that edge. And again, make sure there's no paint showing. And stay really close to the edge all the way up. Peel back the tape. And this is really going to help again. It's also going to keep water out. Remember, Tesla's seal is here. So the front of the vehicle has one seal, which keeps the front trunk storage compartment. But all this is subject to the elements, dirt, water. You can see all this. It's designed that way. When water comes down the windshield, it goes underneath here. It flushes out through the fenders. There's actually openings you can see. So all this stays wet. But this now, by putting our seal on, is really going to keep this area from the wind going underneath, from going down the freeway. It's really going to block a lot of the wind from going in and hitting the firewall and hearing it on the windshield. So again, we're really excited about the version 2 here, covering up the trunk and frunk seals, and again, making our rides quieter. So when you get to the very end, in this case, we'll probably just estimate like an extra inch. We'll snip it off and then we'll tuck it down. So grab the scissors and then we'll trim it off like this, a little further down, and then we can flip it right underneath. And that's it. I'm going to go over everything one more time with pressure. Pressure sensitive adhesive needs pressure, so it will bond. And again, keeping the trunk closed is also going to help. We'll go all the way around it. And with our power Hansho lift, we're going to hit the button to close it. And watch how nice this closes and seals. Perfect. All right, let's move on to the trunk. Okay, now we're going to do the trunk. And when you open the trunk bag, you'll notice there's 3 pieces. So we like to install the longest piece in the middle, starting right here and stretching out to the sides. Not stretching, but placing it out to the sides. And then we continue with each half all the way down and trim off the excess. So we're going to get started first by prepping it, cleaning it. And again, let's talk about the seal here and what it actually does. Right now, your Tesla Model 3 has a seal only around here. Water flows down, water flows here, air goes in and goes around. So this is going to create a seal around the perimeter, around the trunk line. So it's going to double up the seal, basically like the door seals. And it's also going to help with road noise. I mean, these wheels throw a lot of noise up into the cabin. Air ventilation is down here. And so this customer is really smart because we installed his interior sound dampening kit. So this is our trunk interior kit, which closes up the hole that lets all the sound into the back. So again, this is a great item. If you don't have it, we suggest you get it if you want to make your car quieter. So the trick is first center it and get it right dead center. So we want to hang it down so we know the exact same length. And then that's your starting point over the so why don't we peel all the red tape off and then just start right here. So this one's so basic, it's so easy. We pull the red tape off, the whole piece, and if you have a helper, and you want to put this right up here in the center, and then work your way to the sides and make sure the tape sides facing out. Push the bulb right in the middle, all the way around the corner. We suggest you go around this little dimple if you have one. This is a 2018. There were some differences made to the trunk, especially the big hole opening in the cloth felt underneath here. So this is really smart to do. This green area is gone, and now it's all covered in the same sound dampening cotton and wool fabric that's standard. Okay, so the first piece is on. It runs all the way down to the tail lights on each side, following all the contours and the edges. Again, this will keep water out of here because otherwise water can come in here. So it's a great part. We think it really helps. Same thing, start at the top, pull the thing back, make sure you have the adhesive promoter on, and run this O seal. This is the letter O. And all the way down and trim it off. All right, that's pretty much it. That's everything on one side of the car. Obviously, repeat on the driver's side. Lay the seals down. Remember, take our advice. If you need to reposition something, don't be afraid to pull it up. It doesn't bond or cure completely for 36 hours. And again, that's the wind noise trunk frunk door noise kit. And then we'll hit the button again and we'll watch it close. There we go. Thanks again.